Hey everybody, what's here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 2. In the previous episode, we began our adventure through Octopia Square after 2 years since the original Let's Play, and in today's episode, we're going to continue onward through the Octo Canyon. Before we say anything else, I just want to say, you can see Octopia Square way off in the distance over there, so that's a cute little detail. But anyway, now let's go into Welcome to Octopia. Once you think the wall, you can swim up it in squid form. Alrighty then. So that is very poor grammar, I apologize for that. This is a new gameplay gimmick, the sponges. Not completely brand new to the series, but what is brand new is this variant of a sponge. It's kind of tiny, it's kind of adorable. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes in this game, which is pretty neat. And also right there, I believe that's also a new gameplay gimmick, where sometimes balloons will be attached to Octarians. And if you pop the balloon before they go away, then you can get some additional power eggs and things like that. Power eggs are used to upgrade your weapons in the Octo Canyon. So you're going to want to keep that in mind. We'll be going over that a little bit later in the episode, but right now. This right here is nothing. It just gives us the satisfaction of destroying a box. And one thing that I gotta say is that what I really appreciate about Octo Canyon in comparison to Octo Valley is that I think this mode has more variety in level theming than the original single-player game did. Now, I love Octo Valley, and I still had to stand by what I said during that series, where I strongly believe it's one of the best single-player campaigns in any multiplayer shooter game ever. But I gotta say, Octo Canyon and something we'll be seeing a little bit later in the game, they both take the cake. They're both so great, and I'm really excited to demonstrate my love of this game for you people. I'm really excited to start this Let's Play, in case you couldn't tell. Over here is a second scroll, which is going to be pretty useful. The letter that we got at the ending of the previous episode, after we beat the level, that was talking about a shockwave during a little girl's concert or something like that. That's what the second scroll unlocks. It'll give you like a little bit more backstory into the lore of this Splatoon series. Personally speaking, I don't think it goes as deep into the lore of the Splatoon world as Octo Valley's second scrolls do, but these still provide some pretty nice background between what happened between the events of the two games. And this right here is my favorite enemy in the entire Splatoon series. It's just great, it's just so terrible. Oh, just look at it. It may be a little bit annoying because it eats the ink, but it's just so adorable. Alright, so the best advice I can recommend for squeegees is to distract it with one thing of ink, so that you can fire another trail of ink for you to ride. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get around them, but if you master that strategy, then you should be fine. So we go over here. Baddies inbound, let's go! Pikachu and Eevee. Get the balloon, yay! Fire up the sponge, and go this way. Something else that I also really appreciate, which we're going to be seeing a lot throughout Octo Canyon, is that a lot of the gameplay gimmicks that we're going to be seeing, such as these sponges and things like that, they're going to be using these in the multiplayer stages a lot more than they ever did in the first game, which I really appreciate, because these levels are filled with so many great ideas, and it was such a shame that they didn't reuse a whole lot of them in the multiplayer modes in the first game. But they do in this game, and I'm really excited to demonstrate it for you people. And we got another beef jerky salmonoid theme-a-jigger. I still don't remember off the top of my head what they're supposed to be called, but there was already caption on screen in the previous episode, and I'll put another one on screen right here. I'm pretty sure I'll look it up in between videos and figure out what they're officially called. Officially. That's amusing. We go over here, and if we're fast enough, we can destroy all of them in cold blood! Whee! And there's still some up there. But luckily, we have another splashdown. So we're going to be going over here and destroying them all, which is super amazing. And one other thing that I really like about Octo Canyon in particular is that I really love how the ink looks in this mode, because it's you can see there's little glitter things in the ink this time around, and it's just really pleasing to look at. That's unfortunately not in the multiplayer mode, as far as I can tell. But it just adds a nice little touch that adds variety to the primary projectile you're going to be firing throughout this game. We can fire the Octo balloon right there, and head this way. And we're getting pretty close to the end of the level. Luckily, we already got both of the collectibles we'll be needing throughout this adventure. So, we can go over here, collect the sponges, and head this way. Just a bit further. Keep going! Come on, come on, come on. Remember, you can mash the B button while swimming up the sponges to climb faster. And let's collect the Zapfish. Music heads are still buzzing over that legendary underground show 2 years ago. Anyone lucky enough to catch DJ Octavio's opening set and the Squid Sisters headlining had their minds blown and their lives changed that night. So, right off the bat, there's something very interesting I want to talk about with the second scrolls real quick. This little girl is Pearl, and you can see right here, Marina wearing the Octoling armor from the first game. So now we know a little bit more about where they came from, and now we know Marina used to be with the bad guys. And before we move on, I gotta say, this giant tentacle statue is super adorable. But anyway, Sunset Octocopter. This is such a pretty game! We're already in the second episode, and I'm already saying that, but this is such a pretty game. Alright, so we go over here, and you know what? I was going to talk about the graphics real quick, because I just want to talk about how much of a step up the game's visuals went from the first game to the second one. Now, it may not seem like much compared to other games, but I gotta say, they've really stepped it up with the presentation, because you can see little details like the glitter and the ink, like I already praised a moment ago, but the lighting effect in general has just been improved all around, and they're really taking advantage of the Switch hardware. Now, a lot of people say that the Switch hardware isn't that different compared to the Wii U, but you also got to keep in mind that the Switch is also a lot more of an adaptable console, which can handle a wider variety of engines and things like that. A lot more advanced engines than the Wii U ever could. Plus, there's no gamepad that's eating up a lot of the RAM or GPU or other technical terms, which I'm probably not saying correctly because it's been a little while since I researched all that stuff. But anyway, that's not important right now, because the important right now is that we have a new hazard. These are ink rollers. I think that's what they're called, but maybe wrong about that. So these things are kind of one-hit kills, so you gotta be careful about them. Not exactly one-hit kills, but if you don't have advanced armor or anything like that, then you might be in trouble. That right there is our collectible, but unfortunately we cannot fire the wall right there, so you gotta be careful about that. So we can go over here, and instead, we can splat the ground right here and jump. Octocopter, splat 'em out of the sky. Alright, Octocoppers are going to be the flying variants of the Octarians. They can be kind of jerks if you're not having the best time with aiming at them. They're not too tough, but there will be some tougher variants a little bit later in the game, as per usual with this type of game. But don't worry about them too much right now. But you definitely want to keep an eye out on them, even if they're not going to be your major priority in a group of a bunch of enemies. An additional armor right there. And I gotta say, one thing that I'm really excited about with this Let's Play is that, as much as I love recording Versus projects over on the collab channel game, I'm really excited that I can take my own sweet time with this right now, because recording a Versus compared to recording a Let's Play is a very different experience, because there's always that stress of I gotta go fast and I cannot make any mistakes, but with this, I could just take my own sweet time, and I'm not racing against anybody, and it's just a really fun experience. Launchpad straight into the rail grind. These Octarians have some new tricks. That's a very awkward thing to say. Rail grind. Yeah, that doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Alright then, I'm getting a little bit nervous because we haven't seen the second scroll guys, and I don't exactly remember off the top of my head where it is. But we can destroy these guys. Splashes to splashes, dust to dust. Oh yeah. Another Octarian over there. That's one with the balloon. So I'm gonna get the balloon. Yay, I've got the balloon. I believe the second scroll is at the... Hey! Rude. Rude. There we go. Awesome quality Splatoon. Agent 8. Are you being sarcastic? Are you being sarcastic? Because if you are, I do not appreciate that, because that was quality splattage. Alright, so I don't exactly remember, like I said a minute ago, I don't exactly remember where the second scroll is in this level, so I'm getting a little bit nervous if we haven't seen it yet. We go over here, and go this way, and I think I remember where it is now. Not right there, but it's coming up pretty close soon. I think, maybe. Come on. Yep, you missed it. Alright, so if you missed a collectible or anything like that, then I'm gonna just go back through the level quickly and jump cut over to where we missed it at. So I'm gonna see you guys in a moment after we read the second scroll stuff. Except we can't because I didn't pick up the second scroll, which is why we're going back in the level in the first place. Yay, short-term memory loss. The boss kettle's open. You've got this, Agent 4. I want to go home. I see the shininess way off over there, and now I feel silly for missing it. In all fairness, the second scroll isn't the most obvious location ever, but what you want to do, climb up this wall, and go off the beaten path, and go this way instead, and you can collect your sweet, sweet reward. So while we're over here, I might as well express my feelings about this, because I really appreciate that the collectibles in this game aren't always the most obvious locations ever, because it would be really boring if they were all in super obvious and predictable places and things like that. So I really do appreciate that it's a challenge to collect all the collectibles in Octo Canyon. And because I feel like it, unnecessary epicness! It's a great place to demonstrate the fact that if you replay through a level, then the Zapfish will be replaced by a cute little plushie, just like the first game, and it's super adorable. But now that we've taken care of that, I'm gonna meet you guys over in Nicopolis Square after we finish reading this thing. We're moving! And more nights will be moving to a new location soon. Many thanks to our loyal customers for your support. Alright then, starting off with this match with the Magical Land of Alternate Save File, we're starting off this time around with Skipper Pavilion. If you play the original game, then Salt Spray Rig may come to mind when you play this one, because you both start off in relatively the same place, but on opposite ends of the map, and you're heading forward to go into the same location. If that doesn't make any sense, then it probably makes sense if you look at the map instead. You can pause the video if you want to check it out. But we go over here, and what I really like about this one is it's like a Japanese rice garden or something like that. I don't know if it has like an official name or anything like that, but I always really liked the stage, even if it's not that great in ranked battle. I'm gonna say that right now. It does have a lot of the same problems as what I'm trying to say. It has a lot of the same problems as a Salt Spray Rig, where it's kind of easier for the right-handed Inklings to snipe around corners or things like that. So one side kind of has a slight advantage in that regard. But it's not as nearly as broken as Salt Spray Rig was in that aspect. This is a much more balanced map than Salt Spray Rig was. But going over here, I'm going to be giving you guys a couple more strategies in terms of turf wars and things like that. Okay, that person right there, I gotta say, that person right there was like absolutely brutal in one of the field recordings, because there's a map that I'm definitely not going to be there's a match that I'm definitely not going to be demonstrating this time around. Because, oh my goodness, it was completely ridiculous. Like, somebody disconnected and one person was even trying. And we finally got that person! Yay, we have revenge! Alright. The central area over here, this is a pretty crucial part in the map. So you're probably going to have at least one person from either team always over there. We're going to head back over here and head right into the fire to try and take this area away from the opposite team. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully this will work. Come on. We got a roller right there. And a dually. Okay. Now just about to use the Tenta missiles. Why did I do that? Alright, that was like one of the worst opportunities to use the Tenta missiles, but I panicked and just kind of used the thing. Alright, so what do I want to do? I definitely want to take care of the middle part, so let's go over here. Looks like you're working with me, so that's going to be pretty good. Alright, there's a person right there. Okay, we got you. Alright, it's looking better now. It's looking better now than we did a moment ago, but now what we want to focus on is maintaining our turf. We don't want anybody sneaking through the cracks. Just for you. Oh, come on! I was splatting right where you were going to spawn! How'd that not get you? What in the world happened there? How'd that not get you? I was splatting literally where you were spawning at! What? Okay, I need to frame by frame that during editing, because that was just really weird. I don't understand how that happened. Alright, this looks like it could go either way this time around. I'm just gonna keep working towards this. Come on. Game. That's the collab channel name. I see a lot of green on there, but I also see a lot of purple. And yes! Oh, that was a good match. That was brutal towards the beginning, but we managed to make it back on top. And the Inklings winning and Mason with the Slosser are still one of the most adorable things ever. Schellendorf Institute. This is kind of the replacement of Museum d'Alfonsino from the first game. This one takes place in kind of like a dinosaur museum and things like that, and I really like it. I really like the stage, even if I did have the worst luck on it a moment ago when I was recording a match that was kind of absolutely ridiculous because somebody disconnected and somebody wasn't even trying. So that was an unfortunate thing, and unfortunately you're not going to see that footage because I'm not going to have it in the final video. But enough about bitterness, because we're going over here. And what I really like about Schellendorf Institute is it's kind of like what would happen if Walleye Warehouse had an additional tower floor or something like that. What I mean by that is that it's very basic and generic, but there's also a higher ground for you to fire at, and it's pretty interesting. Imagine having Final Destination and Smash Brothers, but there's an additional platform high in the sky or something like that. Kind of like Battlefield, but not Battlefield. Alright, so right now I'm going to be demonstrating the Tentamissiles. The Tentamissiles are pretty interesting because how they work is it's kind of like this game's equivalent of an Ink Strike. Tentamissiles are my personal favorite of these special weapons in Splatoon. We'll be going more in detail over weapons in this game at a later point in the Let's Play, but that's not going to be the main focus as for now. Right now, what I will say about Tentamissiles is rather than touching the gamepad screen like you did with the Ink Strike in the first game, rather than doing that, you click on the thumbstick and you can immediately see where your opponents are going to be located at. This is what I think makes this one of the best special weapons in the game. And I kind of started right there for a moment, I apologize for that. But the missiles themselves aren't really all that useful for actually splatting opponents, but the fact that you can see where your opponents are going to be located at, that's what makes it my favorite of the special weapons in the game. Like I said, we're going to be going into a more detailed guide over the individual weapons later in the game. It's not going to be anything on the levels of like a Chug Conroy Let's Play or anything like that, where he completely analyzed every single individual weapon. We will be demonstrating them to a bigger degree than what we did in the first game, and we'll see that, but it's not going to be like an Earthbound biochart thing or anything like that. Although we'll seriously consider anyone else playing out this Let's Play, but we're not going to be doing that. So things seem to be going pretty well. I keep saying that, and then bad stuff happens to my face. Not very nice at all. Let's go over here. And... What? How did you even appear there? Okay. Well, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna make this Let's Play fun because we're gonna be having the ability to frame by frame all this, and we could see how they're able to do stuff like that. So yay! Alright then, I'm gonna ink this area over here because nobody else did, and it's giving me a little bit of OCD, even though I don't have OCD. Let's go over here, and I see a lot of green on the map, so I'm not entirely confident that we're gonna win this one. But like I said in the previous episode, I'm not going to be biased in this Let's Play and only have matches that I win be the primary focus of what we'll be demonstrating in this Let's Play, because I want to demonstrate the fact that you can't win them all in this game. There are going to be times where you'll try your hardest and you can't win them. We lost by 0.1%! Okay, let me explain something real quick. How this game handles ties is, if the two teams tie, then one team would automatically get 0.5%. Getting a 0.1% is very, very rare. Okay, let's try that again. I'm gonna keep that match in there, but I would like to win at least one Schellendorf Institute match during this recording season. We lost by literally 0.1%. That's just rude. Okay. Another change that they made with the multiplayer mode in this game was, one of the commands in the first game was come on, but a lot of people use that as a rage button, myself included, admittedly. But now they changed it to say this way, so that the message is more clear, which I really appreciate, because it got really annoying when people would spam the come on button in rage and things like that, so I really appreciate that they changed that. And we win! Yay! That was a very brutal match, and I'm honestly surprised that we made it work out in the end. But that's going to be it for this episode of Splatoon 2. So thank you all so much for watching this episode, and next time, it'll gear to you. Oh yeah.